Hey guys, Ed here bringing you part 4 of Jiraiya's son. I hope you guys appreciate the people I brought to the MHA from the Narutoverse. If I didn't, it would have been cheap and boring. Look forward to the future parts. But with that said, let's get into it.
Fearless.
Where he last left off, Izuku just entered the classroom of 1A, and being true to the son of the super perv Jiraiya, he first noticed the girls of the class, making a mental note of them until a familiar voice called him out, getting everyone's attention. Ochako would say, "It's you! I wanted to thank you again for helping during the entrance exams." Izuku flashing a smile at her, he would say, "Hey, long time no see, and by the looks of it, we managed to pass. I'm happy for you." But before she could say anything else, another familiar voice interrupted them. Ida, doing karate chops, he would say, "I've completely misjudged you. I thought you inherited your father's, well, questionable nature. But not just that. I also want to tell you that you are a far better student than I." Izuku weirded out, he would say, "Okay, Four Eyes, mind if I go take my seat? I kinda don't want to wake the hobo sleeping behind the teacher's desk." Before Ida could say anything, Izuku walked past him and took his seat, followed by Ochako, leaving Ida by himself contemplating, until lazy Aizawa came out of the sleeping bag and telling him to take his seat, until he realized that he wasn't supposed to be in the class to begin with. Aizawa would say, "Mr. Ida, you're in the wrong class. Your class is 1B, down the hall." Ida would say, "Excuse me? Sir, in my acceptance letter, I was told to be in class 1A. What's the meaning of this?" Aizawa would say, "Simple. We originally wanted to have you in class 1A for the amount of points. But after some reevaluating of the footage, your testing round, it seems that some of your points, or rather 49 out of 90, were deducted because you weren't the one defeating them. Or rather, you destroyed robots that were already short-circuited. In other words, you wasted time for nothing. And with your points, let's just say you barely made it, so the next best thing we could do for you, after sending you the acceptance letter, we placed you in class 1B. Ida, dumbfounded, he would say, I understand, sir. I'll be gathering my things." After Ida left, Aizawa went back to the routine. As Aizawa would say, "Midoriya, I'm surprised you noticed me, but I'm assuming you weren't the only one. But that aside, I have to introduce my assistant, which it seems that he's running late. Put these on and meet me outside." The first person to do so was a black-haired girl that seemed not to be interested at all, as she took the gym uniform and headed out the door. Izuku could make a "let's get this over with," and the others followed after Aizawa's glare. In the girls' locker room, there were no sign of the black-haired girl, as they changed and engaged into small talk, introducing themselves until one of the girls spotted a hole in the wall, and the redhead getting very angry about that, so angry in fact that her hair stood up and they started to swoosh around. In the guys' locker room, everyone was minding their business and changing into the gym uniform provided, until Izuku felt curious eyes on him coming from a guy having long hair and white eyes. Izuku having a tick mark, he'd say, "Can I help you?" The person would say, "So you must be the child of the legendary Toad sign." Izuku would say, "No, he's far from legendary. I mean, He's more occupied with his research and peeping. Besides, where are you supposed to be? The person would say, "Oh, I thought I introduced myself, but apparently not. My name is Neji Hyuga, and apparently Jiraiya hasn't changed one bit from I last remember." Izuku would say, "Wait, you know my father?" Another person would say, "Hyuga, I believe you said too much." Neji would say, "What are you talking about, Itachi? If he is the son of the legendary Sannin that trained Naruto, Izuku must be on the same path, right?" Another person would say, "I believe that's not entirely true. I mean, Nagato and Konan and Yahiko were trained by Jiraiya, but they created Akatsuki." Neji would say, "I'm surprised that you're even here, Obito. You aren't here to cause a war or something." Another person, interrupting, would say, "Sorry to interrupt, I'm Haku. You mentioned Naruto, so does that mean that you're from the Hidden Leaf?" Neji would say, "Yes, but how would you know him?" Haku would say, "I've met him and his team in the Land of Waves." Izuku would say, sorry to bother? I don't want to get involved in your game of war or whatever, but can I get changed now?" Another voice would say, "Your flames of youth are burning bright. You shall be my rival." Neji's face paled on the mentions of flames of youth, and he turned around slowly, only to find a smiling Kirishima, giving him a thumbs up, as Ojiro looked at Neji with a look that implied, "I know your pain." Izuku was changing, and he saw Mineta looking through a small hole in the wall, but Izuku had no time to say anything because the wall broke down to reveal a very angry redhead, with her hair swooshing everywhere. The woman with the demonic aura would say, "Where is he? Where is the perv that has been peeping on us? I want to tell this person a new one, you know." Izuku, scared and pointing downwards, would say, "He's down there, you're stepping on him." Mineta under the rubble, he would say, "Please be gentle." A girl popping her head from behind the broken wall would say, "Obito, didn't I tell you to make sure to tell Jiraiya's son not to peep?" Obito would say, "Rin, he's standing over there. He had nothing to do with it." Rin, confused, would say, "If he hadn't done anything, who did Kushina crush under the wall?" Itachi, explaining, he would say, "It was a midget called Minoru Mineta. Apparently, he'd do anything to get just a glimpse. But that hole over there was prior to our arrival. It must have been left here from the upperclassmen." Kirishima would say, "She's so manly. She's the very definition of a spring of youth." Another person popping from behind Rin, he would say, "Calling a girl manly isn't a good thing, so you might want to fix that." Rin would say, "Fool, I don't think he heard you." After about 15 minutes, a visit to recovery girl, and a talk with the principal, they finally managed to get where Aizawa was. And he was annoyed. Aizawa annoyed, he would say, "It took the lot of you about 20 minutes more than expected to get here, and Principal Nezu gave me a call. Kushina Uzumaki, Minoru Mineta, explain yourselves." After they explained what happened, they got into a Quirk apprehension test. Aizawa also threatened to kick out the person that got last place. Surprisingly, Izuku got 10th overall, and Momo, the girl that didn't care, got 9th, and that, for some odd reason, caught his attention. Not to mention her body type. Izuku was going to think about her. Aizawa would say, "Alright, Minoru Mineta, you got last place." Mineta would say, "Please don't kick me out." Aizawa would say, "I lied. It was a way to push yourselves to the limit. Now go get changed." A voice would say, "Sorry I'm late. A black cat crossed my path, so I had to take the long way." Aizawa would say, "If it isn't Sakumo Hatake. An oddball for sure. We're nearly done here. Mind explaining where you were?" Sakumo would say, "I had to deal with some stuff. I had to save some people, and things got out of hand." Aizawa would say, In any case, class, this is my assistant, Sakumo Hatake. Kushina interrupting would say, "Wait, the white fang of the leaf?" Sakumo, confused and surprised, he would say, "Lady Kushina? Aizawa, I believe someone's calling me. See ya." Aizawa would say, "That's odd." Aizawa couldn't finish his sentence because Sakumo left in a hurry, leaving everyone confused. As the day at UA came to an end, Momo once again was the first to leave, but Izuku tried to talk to her and get her number. He followed her to an alleyway where there were no traces of her. Defeated, he went home. Meanwhile, somewhere far away, the Shinobi of Darkness and one of the masked figures arrived at the HQ. The Shinobi of Darkness would say, "So, how did the first day of UA come about?" The masked figure would say, "It went well, and I must say, there are some interesting people in my class. But the child of the 7th Pro Hero is there. Should I get rid of him?" The Shinobi of Darkness would say, "No, not at the moment. I want you to keep an eye on him, and I want you to evaluate his strength. But I also want you to keep your cards close to your chest, until Jiraiya's son shows all of his. And from there on, we can plan accordingly." The masked figure will say, "I believe that there are some people that need to be watched." Shinobi of Darkness, curiously, he would say, "Oh? Who would those be?" The masked figure would say, "Those would be Haku Momochi, Fu Tanimoto, Rina Nohara, Kushina Uzumaki, Neji Hyuga, Eijiro Kirishima, Izuku Midoriya, Itachi Uchiha, and Obito Uchiha." The Shinobi of Darkness would say, "So, we have a Hyuga, 2 Uchihas, and an Uzumaki. Your class is wonderful, Momo. I want you to keep an eye on all of these, and try to blend in. Do not approach the Uchiha, nor the Hyuga. They might blow your cover if you try to do anything in their presence. Don't try to harm the Uzumaki, because if that were to happen, the yellow flash will make an appearance." Momo would say, "Sir, I believe there is one more that I forgot to mention." Shinobi of Darkness would say, "And who would that be?" Momo would say, "His name is Sakumo Hatake, and Miss Uzumaki called him the White Fang of the Leaf." Shinobi of Darkness would say, "Oh great, he is here. Make sure to check your surroundings. He had a great reputation, and he was more talented than Jiraiya. So be very careful around the White Fang. You don't want to mess with him. And don't fall for his act." Momo would say, "Understood. So should I continue to survey Izuku Midoriya?" Shinobi of Darkness would say, "Yes. And I think you should go to UA yourself instead of sending a shadow clone." Momo would say, "But what do I do about the baby?" The Shinobi of Darkness would say, "Ah yes, your baby. Don't worry about it. Your parents will take care of it. But with that said, I must go and check upon the League of Villains. They had a proposal for me." Meanwhile, when Izuku arrived home, his father was chilling on the couch, and Izuku would say, "Dad, can you train me?" Jiraiya would say, "Did you do your chakra control exercise?" Izuku would say, "Yes, Dad. I've been doing chakra control exercise for nearly 10 years now. Could you teach me something new?" Jiraiya would say, Alright. If you get your chakra control to a T, why don't you summon Pa?" Izuku and Jiraiya went outside, and Izuku tried to summon Pa, but only tadpoles appear. Jiraiya would say, "You see, you aren't ready yet. You're just like Naruto when he was young. New jutsu here, new jutsu there. If you don't have the control over your chakra, you won't be able to do higher ranked jutsu. And if you try to do a high ranked jutsu without control, you'll only hurt those around you. Izuku would say, I guess you're right. Jiraiya would say, why not trying to find flaws with your taijutsu by fighting your shadow clones? Izuku rolling his eyes, he would say, whatever. As time flew by, Izuku tried to get to know Momo, but failing miserably. Izuku also tried to learn some stuff from the scrolls, but he already knew what was in it. And now, All Might arrived in Class 1A. All Might would say, alright class, today's exercise will pull no punches. Yue received your hero costume specifications, and here they are. The wall opened only to reveal suitcases with numbers. All Might would say, put on your hero costumes and meet me in Battleground Beta. Once everyone managed to get their hero costumes, they reached Battleground Beta, and All Might welcomed them. All Might would say, they do say that the clothes make the pros, and you're proof of it. Now, yes. Everyone grab a number, and a lot of you will be divided into groups of 2 for a 2 versus 2 team battle between heroes and villains. To be continued. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed, leave a like, comment down below. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing for more. Turn on the bell notification to be updated so you never miss a video. That said, peace out.